Week 15, Carolina Panthers going to Minnesota to face the 5-8 Vikings. We've clinched the division, looking for that number one seed. So far, we are undefeated. Arch Manning came off of an insane record-breaking game for a record that stood for I don't even know how many decades. Threw for 602 yards, 4 touchdowns. It was pretty. It was pretty insane. The amount of times he went deep without me even changing the playbook, the scheme. I think it was just maybe the Falcons, just their defense and their corners were just not able to keep up, and he scorched them for it. It was not planned, expected. Wow. It was, yeah. So right now he's leading the league in passing yards and passing touchdowns. He has a chance to break the single season passing yards record. He just needs to add, I think he would have to average 315 yards a game, and he's currently averaging more than that. Of course, a 600-yard game would tip that to his favor, but we're going to go for it. And in the process, we're going to try and see if we can't get three or maybe even four pass catchers to 1,000 yards. That'd be a nice feat. Wasn't something we were kind of, wasn't one of the goals, but things have kind of come together in this season. Now, of course, we have some down plays, mistakes, bonehead moves, bonehead decisions. Defense gives up yards, but we're second in the league in points allowed, and first against the pass, fourth against the rush. Vikings, however, have a mid offense and a shitty defense. Didn't really notice that till now, just how bad their defense is, at least on average on paper during Fast Sim. Let's take a look at their staff, depth chart, injury report, and then we'll get the game started. Looking forward to seeing how this season turns out. All right, Kevin O'Connell, still their coach, running a West Coast zone run. We seem to struggle against the West Coast schemes on defense. They usually pick us apart pass by pass, but we have tinkered with the defensive playbook just a little bit. I would tell you if it was a lot. Um, but I think sometimes the coordinator's just not picking the plays that I recommend the most. They run a 4-3 quarters, whatever that means. We still have Daryl Jackson Jr. out on IR. I'm thinking I'm fine with taking a loss. I mean, if we take a loss, maybe I'll bring him back in. If we get close to losing, I mean, I just can't imagine that having Cam Jackson on our roster as a backup nose tackle, which we don't really use much, is really going to make that much of a difference. Um, so we're just going to keep it as is for now. Maybe he's our good luck charm. Vikings out. There's a great starting left tackle and left guard. Look at that. And they're pretty sure he was a rookie. Maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, I think he's a rookie. Defensive tackle. I'm sure he's starting defensive tackle, Quater. So they're out. They're out. Some guys in the trenches. Let's go through. All right, JJ McCarthy hasn't progressed, I'm sure, as much as they'd like, but he picked us apart last time we played him, which I think was 2 years ago. You got Jonah Coleman, Dylan Jones, who's a rookie. Yeah, they seem to have a formidable running back room. Of course, probably one of the best receiver rooms at least starting 2 receivers in the league. So that's going to be challenging. Great tight end as well. We always struggle against tight ends. Will Jados, I remember that name. I had him on my my draft board. He's our starting left tackle. Let's see if we can exploit it. Will Freeze, Greg Johnson. I remember him. He was on my draft board too one year. DeAndre Carter and Brian O'Neill. Who's going to be our potential bitch here? Left tackle, center, or right guard, I would say. So Dallas Turner coming off on the left edge, Devin White on the right. Then you've got 2 no names at defensive tackle. Okay, I think I want to do a little bit more run, but let's take a look at their. They have great corners. Oh man, good. Caleb Downs at free safety. All right, I think I'm gonna go with the run game. I wanted to kind of do the same we did last week, but yeah, let's go with the run game. We're still gonna pass it a lot, I'm sure. I'd hate to get down too much though. Should we just chance it? Should we go for the barn burner? Just play our game and see if it works. Help him get to that record. Yep, let's just do what we did last week. If it backfires, it backfires. But here's the thing. As much as I like running it, and I think as good as we are at running it, they I don't know, like we can get stuck, especially against a West Coast offense. If they go up early, and all of a sudden our coach wants to run it when we need to catch up. Yeah, that's the I don't know. That's the struggle. I wish we could change mid game, but let's go ahead and defend short pass. We've been doing it every week. What do they recommend? Blitz counter. How often do they blitz? They're usually in zone coverage. I think next time, okay. I think I need to make a playbook that beats man specifically. I don't think we're going to run into many teams that. You know what? I should probably do that scouting. How many teams run more man than zone? They do seem to run about, yeah, a little bit more than a quarter of the plays. They're going to blitz. Huh. Do I do the blitz counter? Only on blitz counter plays. I have no idea what that means. I'm going to say, let's just do what we did last week. Defend short pass, throw it medium, and see how it works out. Maybe this is the secret sauce. They're number 2 in the league in takeaways. Well, I guess we'll find out, right? All right. I'm not doing this stupid thing. You know what? Let me back it up.
It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And up next, we'll see Robert Woods. He's your top dog in the league this season.
Robert Woods.
Ranking first in passing yards. It's the Panthers and the Vikings. Just ahead on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, they've been flawless all year long as they hit the home stretch at 13-0.
And now they just have to guard against complacency. You still got to go out and earn it every week.
Aww. Aww. Well, good thing I saved it. Come on, game. Don't mind the fucking splash screen. Need it for now. Well, I'm probably going to need it forever with this mod.
What's next for there?
Nobody
Because
cares.
it's not Geno Smith, folks.
Alright, you think it's going to let me resume?
Welcome back, everyone, to U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. You haven't missed a thing as we're just about set for the...
Oh, I hope we didn't miss anything. Shit.
Get strapped in. It's just about time to get the party started. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
Bryce Young now, second MVP projection.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. 2nd and 7. Manning going to throw. Well, this is caught by Williams. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. To throw is Manning. There's a short throw caught by Sanders. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The numbers for Coleman last week. 20 carries, 64 yards.
Just an all-right day from him last week. He really didn't break out for the huge yardage he had hoped going in. I talked with him before the game, though, and he knows this is a new, fresh opportunity. He's put last week behind
you're trouble.
And he's spoken.
Rush too strong. They get
55 there, just cleaning it up.
Multiple
Wait, so did they each get a third?
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Did they each get a half? Who got hosed? Oh, wow. They each get a half. Look at that. All right. Curiosity solved. Man, if they could all do that on every sack, that'd be awesome.
It looks like, yes, it is 6 defensive backs on the field for Carolina.
They're going with a dime set. Looking to throw McCarthy.
Oh, come on.
That scramble good for 13 yards, but not good enough
You
for
literally
a
had
first
2
down.
quarterback spies
I
just
thought he did
sitting
a
there.
pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. He certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there, trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. Fights off the defender.
Oh, there you go. Damn.
It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The Panthers offense and their quarterback coming out for their 2nd drive. And he's played well all year long as he enters the home stretch of the season as the NFL leader in touchdown passes. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Manning now to throw. That's caught. Puka Nacua. This defense for the Vikings, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
And while you can't actually see confidence rising in a unit, you feel like you can. And when you look at this team, you definitely think that it is, because anytime you can tell your offense, just get us a couple of touchdowns, we got this thing locked down, that's when you know you're playing well.
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
Good work that time to get them to jump, and now here's 1st and 10. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And he'll get this up.
I think we need to go play action.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Manning. Got his man.
Oh, damn, he might go for it. Yep.
It's Taylor. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
It was further. I didn't think he was going to go all the way.
Yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36.
He was not the primary target. They expected to get the ball downfield. Instead, checked it down.
Who was it?
An old coach of mine used to say to us all the time,
Sanders?
when they check it down, that should end the down. In this case, though, he foiled that in a big way and turned it into a big play.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. 2nd down in the yard. The slot man in motion right. Now Manning.
No.
This throw nearly intercepted.
See, bonehead fucking bonehead decision.
Here's Manning to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
And he will take it across.
Scatterbo doing Scatterbo things.
A great effort there.
Nice
With his
fucking
ninth
run.
rushing touchdown on the year. And the Panthers' decision to go for it pays off with 6
Oh, I'm
points.
going to watch this again.
So they only needed a couple of feet there on fourth down, but they got more than that and then some as he takes this into the end zone.
And I love your description right there, right? Fourth and short. They got that. No problem. Let's go ahead and get the...
Damn, 3 fucking broken tackles. And look at Reichard basically said, fuck you, safety, or whoever. Who is that? That's Caleb Downs. Beautiful. That's why I like those thumpers,
in the
man.
end zone, touchdown. Everyone goes away happy on that one.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And it was finished by the touchdown run from the 15. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offensive move a little bit.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Middle of the field to Jefferson. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Now a 2nd and 2. A handoff, Coleman between the tackles. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
McCarthy operating from the gun. This one swung out here to Jones. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. To the air with McCarthy. To the sideline and incomplete.
Yeah, it's still early in the game. No sense taking a chance on 3rd down and forcing one into traffic. So I like the wise play he made there. Get it to the sideline out of bounds where no one's going to have a chance at it.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt. Certainly not what he wanted. And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Manning. Going to be taken in here by Nakua. The numbers for Puka a week ago. 8 catches, 120 yards even.
And he's trying to prove the adage is not just how you start, it's how you finish. And he is finishing awfully strong, takes great care of his body. I expect him to go ahead and put a capper on this season.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And forget about
these guys are pretty stout versus the run.
Look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. They'll be in search of 8
defense,
yards here.
yeah, their stats aren't
the first down.
telling the whole story
here.
here.
As flags come in. And we'll check out the call. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Got his man. It's Williams. 2 yards on the pickup there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there, couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. 3rd down from the gun, McCarthy.
Get him.
That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
They'll run it with Coleman.
Holy shit.
And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Panthers are going to get it back.
Computer wanted him to get it. Look at that.
Position.
Boost.
So
They gave
just
him a little
shy of
boost.
midfield. They tried it. Didn't work out. What did you think?
I thought that they should have punted the ball away. Should have gotten rid of it and played defense with better field position. Look, I'm as aggressive as anyone wanting to go
Play
for it
action,
on
go
offense,
deep.
but in this situation, it doesn't.
First half.
I don't know that there's any risk. I mean, what's the reward for your risk here? I would not have done that. My only explanation is this coach, he may want to be up here in the booth with us. We may have a 3-man
Come
booth
on,
starting
man.
next week if he keeps up with those decisions.
And that one drops down.
You need to spread that
Good
offense out.
coverage there. Force the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
They're bunching everyone up.
Now Manning. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Panther football to start quarter number 2. Now 2nd and 3. As they've got it as we resume action. To throw, it's Manning. Pass complete there to Nakua.
Oh.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Taylor going to take this down just short of the goal line. He got 3, but could not get the ball over the chalk. Here's Taylor again. And this time he works his way in. Touchdown, Panthers. And that touchdown's going to put him in double digits now for the year. It's his 10th rushing touchdown of the campaign. Point after try forthcoming. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. With the football going back to the Vikings offense. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Short completion, just 4 yards. And now it's 3rd and 4.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Here's McCarthy. On the screen, this is Coleman. And he'll go out of bounds, it appears, right at the 45. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Now McCarthy. Pressure comes in.
Oh,
He's
man, you know you're in
down.
trouble.
It's a Panther sack.
DB's going that fast at you.
It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Throwing is McCarthy. He sets up the screen to Jones.
It this time.
Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
The Vikings send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will be covered up. Pretty good result. It'll be down at the 14-yard line. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
1st and 10, Taylor now. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs. Keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. That's a staple in this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll set up the screen to Taylor. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 37. 14 yards that time for number 14.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Working from the gun, Manning. That one complete to Ligon. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 more on that one and another first down. From the gun, it's Taylor. He'll take it inside the 25.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Everything's going right here in this first half, and they've got a good lead, and part of that can be attributed to their success on 3rd downs. This is another conversion here, and they can look to really open things up now with this 1st and goal.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
They'll send one of those 2 tight ends in motion. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. A great play there.
They're playing us hard, man, but we're
with his
just
2nd touchdown
playing
here
a
in
little
this
more
first half.
efficiently.
And the Panthers have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. So it's a pretty good season he's putting together running the football. That now 10 rushing touchdowns on the year.
And we know this is a passing league, and those numbers throwing the football, they seem to go up and up every year. But there's still something to having a reliable back you can count on in the red zone to bring things home for you. And that's what he's been doing all season long.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. If they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down. Finds his man. There's Jordan Addison. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And now a fake on the jet sweep and a give to Jones. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. Handoff, Coleman, right side. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, McCarthy. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. McCarthy.
Nice.
This is going to be intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And the Panthers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Well, Brandon, as they say in popular culture, this one's going to leave a mark because they can see the end zone, but it'll stay out of reach because of their error. All their offensive teammates have to give the quarterback right now, offer a little bit of encouragement because what's done is done. Let's get them next time out.
Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. They have been red hot, sometimes white hot here in this first half. They're just looking to add to that total right now.
And this has to serve as a reminder to myself because so many times I get wrapped up in the play call, like how they've sequenced things, how it's run. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's still execution. Those guys out on the field, and right now they are locked in and really looking good.
They'll try to continue to be locked in here as we get ready to approach halftime.
Come on, man. Make a decision.
And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Manning going to throw. Throw taken in by Taylor, left side. And he is going to have a Panthers first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. This 2nd and 4. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. To throw is Manning.
Deep.
Going right side
nice.
here, and that's complete. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
Don't get sacked, man.
That's to the sideline and incomplete.
They have their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And the route is on. It's 24-0. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you two in a bit. For now, plenty of early game action around the NFL to get you caught up on, so let's get to it. We'll get started up at Cleveland Browns Stadium in Cleveland, and it's the Browns who are out on top. The Browns trying to hold on and claim victory. From there, we move to H-Town to check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And they've got the lead in that ball game over the visiting Jaguars. It's C.J. Stroud with a couple of touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. The Bears trying to finish that one off and claim victory. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game. And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Now a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw McCarthy. And that's incomplete. The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Catch it! Jesus!
And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
The Panthers offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And you have to imagine this defense saying, how do we stop this guy? He has run roughshod through him to this point in the 3rd quarter. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Throwing now is Manning. There's a short throw caught by Sanders. And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job.
I turned away when I thought he got tackled.
Watching film and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Wait, why are we on the opposite
side? 2nd down, they'll run it here. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Manning. Throw out wide is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Slot man moves right. 2nd and 11. This one caught. It's the tight end Hawkinson. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. And now they'll stop play here, at least momentarily. A member of the Vikings in some discomfort after that last play. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
18 yards the gain for number 18.
But look what we have here, a sustained drive, and that was certainly AWOL in the first half. They really struggled to try and move the football. But right now, they certainly seem to have the formula working. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. They'll try the left side with Coleman. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
52 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
They will run again with Coleman. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. On the delay, Jones. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And his kick is good. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The visitors' offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here.
Now Manning.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing is Manning.
Now this will be swung out wide for Taylor.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Devin White able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Like how they've started the 3rd quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their 2nd win coming out of the locker room. Here's the Panthers punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again.
And they have had problems getting the running game in gear as we look through some of their attempts from earlier. They have just not been able to match the physicality that this defense has shown, and their lack of success on the ground is a direct reflection of that.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
All right, they think we're going to have a little bit of a comeback here.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
On play action, now McCarthy. He'll fire deep, looking for more.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
And now before they run this fourth down play, we're going to get a timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Just 21 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over.
The possession of the football goes over to Carolina. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up. Now Manning.
A throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
A big kick that time, 52 yards.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
And the Vikings now heading onto the field.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Over the middle, complete. That's more. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Back to throw, Fields.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
McCarthy operating from the gun. That pass complete to Moore.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
From the shotgun, McCarthy. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. They'll try and run for it, running right through him. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Operating from the gun, McCarthy. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down.
Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Operating from the gun, McCarthy. Over the middle, it's complete. And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. Moore, the man in motion.
There go play action. Here's McCarthy. A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
Strong coverage by Carolina. And on we go to 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter. as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And he'll back up a few steps as he'll make the fair catch at about the 8-yard line. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Panthers will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. To throw, it's Manning.
Got a man, that's Liggett.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Up the middle, here's Taylor. And this is going to be a Panthers 1st down as he's got this up to the 28-yard line.
Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Vikings slow to get up.
Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
From the gun, it's Manning.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
And he comes back with one complete. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
They give to Taylor out of the gun. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. And now they'll stop play here, at least momentarily. A member of the Vikings in some discomfort after that last play. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
Shotgun now for Manning. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. The slot man in motion right. Now Manning. He's going to let this go. Back in the end zone.
Bro.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Manning now to throw.
That is caught, and he is going to have a Panthers 1st down. It won't be by much. He needed 3, and he got 3, barely. But the mark shows 1st down.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. On the handoff, this is Taylor. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's Manning to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up 3rd down on the sack. Looking to throw. Manning. There's a short throw caught by Sanders. And he's going to be marked down short of the 1st down, right around the 17. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll be 4th down. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
And now out comes Minnesota.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's third down.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up fourth down.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big third down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big fourth down call.
Take it at the 37. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return.
The visitors' offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line.
69 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
They just look like they're having fun out there. Big lead. There's another big play on the big run. I mean, they can't be stopped.
I'm a little bit older than you, as you well know, partner, and you tend to tell me that all the time. But it used to be a big-time song, and the lyric was, summertime and the living is easy. Right now, it's football time, and the running is easy for this crew.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd and 3.
Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
There they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Now a give to Taylor. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal.
Well, we're beyond the tone setting right now. This guy's been the bell cow all day, and they'll continue to rely on him to move the chains, drain the clock, and lead his team.
Back to throw. Manning. Got his tight end. That's complete. It's Sanders. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd and goal.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone.
They'll look to run with Taylor.
And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season.
And the Panthers add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting?
Catch that
maybe
shit.
Trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Here's McCarthy.
The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
But when this game is done, the credit will go to the consistent pressure on the quarterback as a huge cause of this win. Most teams are happy if they get a few of these games per year. You know they're going to watch this tape over and over, try to identify what's working, and keep it going.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been stymied left and right, converted only 1 time. This will be 3rd and 19. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 3rd and 19, no problem, as they're able. And now following that last play, I do believe we're going to get a review here. Yes, indeed, the red flag is out. Did he keep those feet in bounds?
Was out,
That's
buddy.
the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. Winds up a very good call there defensively to challenge that one, as that now will wind up an incomplete pass.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd. Manning going to throw. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline.
Got him.
It's caught inside the 25. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before
Jimmy Horn
going
Jr. just
down.
looks mad.
How about a 39-yard pickup? They'll take it.
And even with the game seemingly in hand, they're continuing to fire away, pressing the ball down the field. Listen, it's worked all day. No reason to go away from it now.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they'll get to him short of the 1st down at about the 16. 9 yards on the carry, but it's going to lead to a 4th down. Now here's the Panthers special teams unit to try a field goal for 3. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
No run back here for Jones, a touchback.
And now out comes Minnesota.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Throwing is McCarthy.
Steps away to his left. Oh, he stays
What the
up.
fuck is going
Breaks
on?
the tackle. He's got room to run. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
Working out of the gun is McCarthy. Complete to Addison on the out route.
Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the
All right, time for another
8-yard
pick.
line. 25 yards that time.
Now, fourth quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little.
And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And the lead drops from 34 to 27. 5 plays there on that drive.
And it was all capped off by Justin Jefferson's touchdown reception.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Running straight ahead, Taylor.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. So this one is over. A victory for Carolina. And really, it looked at times like they just had this one in cruise control out there.
Yeah, they deserve a ton of credit because you and I both know, heck, they knew. This is a tough place to play. Overcame that with ease. Romped home with an easy win. And here's the best part for them. It'd be easy to get to the airport because the crowd left pretty early in this one, didn't it?
Well, plus they have a police escort.
Okay, you had to spoil that part of it. Of course, they're going to get there. But think about how wide open things are now because this crowd didn't expect this.
No.
So they went back to the tailgate and said, let's go eat. This one didn't any fun for us.
Yeah, they took the drama out of this one pretty early on. So for Carolina, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, their slim playoff hopes are gone now as they fall to 5-9. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Okay, so he fell a little short of the 315, 316 average he needs to break the record. Okay, Scotto got more yards than I thought he did. Taylor had a day. Damn, they both had 2 touchdowns. Because Taylor had add 61 receiving yards to that. Oh man, he didn't have any passing touchdowns. I didn't realize Justin Fields went in there. Okay, maybe the fucking game's broke because I don't remember seeing Justin Fields. Maybe I'm not paying enough attention. But okay, let's see here. We got Donko with 2 Thompson. Okay, good. We saw a lot of Mike Green. Did I screw up again? Do I need to fix the depth chart? See, I think you'd still be running if you didn't have to jump for it. Okay, but still. Another dominating win. And to think, man, last year we were 2-5 at the trade deadline. I had to make something happen, build for the future, for short and long term. Let's see how it's looking. All right. Okay, so we are 3 games ahead of the next closest contender to the number 1 seed. So that right there. And there's 3 games left. So why we haven't clinched it yet? I'm guessing is like one more win and it's done. We got the 1 seed. Now 9 games ahead of the Saints. Let's take a look at our stats here. See how close our receivers are. Okay, so we got Puka and Harbor are very close. So what I'll probably have to do is at some point move Puka. I don't know. I got to find a way to get XL more reps. So maybe I'll change these 2 on the depth chart, and I'll do that right now. But what that really, yeah, I mean, hey, we'll see. I want to get 4,000-yard receivers. All right. Browns still have the number 1 seed, and yeah, Chiefs are at 4. Bills, Chargers, okay. How'd the Broncos do? Okay, we now have the number 2 pick and 8. Second and 8th pick. Jaguars just picked a quarterback in the first round. So I'm thinking, who's going to be the team? Maybe the Jets, even though they did pick one a couple years ago. They're going to have to do it again, I think. Maybe the Lions if what's-his-face retires. Maybe the Cowboys. I mean, they have Miller Moss. Obviously, they're not winning a lot of games. Huh. Well, I think there's only one top 5 quarterback in the draft. All right, this is the team that we... Okay, Miller Moss looking good. He's right there. Still can't get more than 4 wins, though, apparently. Let's see, who'd be looking for a quarterback? Okay, not the Pats, not the Raiders. They just drafted one. He's got QB of the future tag on him. Okay, Bryce Young, but he doesn't have a player tag. You got the QB of the future tag there. Hold on a second. Okay, I thought I saw. Okay, I'm thinking Steelers so far. Even though they have someone. Broncos is another one, but sorry, we have your first round pick. Oh, definitely the Bucks. As a matter of fact, it probably wouldn't hurt to trade with the Bucks again if they're open to a trade. Because the second this guy may retire. That's going to be interesting to see if they take a quarterback to challenge him. Dolphins could have used one. How many snaps has this guy got to this year? 231 attempts. Okay, so Jackson Dart has played more. So yeah, they have an interesting situation here with their quarterbacks. They just drafted him. Same thing with these guys. Okay. What else is there to look at? mean, dude, it would honestly be nice to sit some players, but can't when this guy's about to. He has a chance at breaking a record. Can't do it. Gotta play. All right, that'll do it for this one. Till next time, we're gonna face the Falcons.